How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Breathe Live. I'm here with my wife, Essence Carter. And we just want to talk about some basic things, even some future things about what's going to happen with the show, some of the guests that we have coming on, different things of that nature. One of the things that I definitely want to talk about, and we'll talk about it at the end as well, but we have a young man, positive young man from Ypsilanti, Kid J. He'll be on the 13th. And this is him here. He will be on the 13th. And then we'll go from there. And we have one of our co-hosts, Allie Hughes. She'll be with us today. And to talk about different topics and different things of that nature. So let's jump right into it. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm excited. Miss Allie.
Hey.
Oh.
Michigan Liberation.
Yes.
How are you?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah. A busy day, huh?
Yeah. Feel like it's never enough time in the day.
Oh, before we go on, I want to say our prayers goes out to Paris and Shatara, and their issues that they're dealing with. So we just keep them up in prayer, healing, and different things of that nature. But I just want to make sure, so people are probably wondering where Shatara or wherever. That's it. So we're going to move on in the show. And what did you, one of the first things you wanted to talk about? I know for me, I want to talk about Bite. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Pretty much just the climate of our country now that everything has happened. Everything is final. We have our president in place. We have our vice president in place. So just talking about the climate of America now and kind of how things are shaping up, how things are looking, how people are feeling. So I saw New York Times had posted 9 ways Biden could change America in January. So we might just touch on a couple of these. So first, with the ongoing pandemic, the virus, and they're talking about how Biden is handling the virus versus Trump. So I guess we can start there. How are you feeling about coronavirus? What do you think about it? Trump versus Biden and how it's going. So, yeah.
Biden win. Biden win.
Yeah.
Biden win all day.
He already doing a good job.
Yeah, and it's crazy that he had already planned once they did the transition of power, which Trump, I don't know why he thought that wouldn't happen. Like either we're gonna pull you out or you just gonna walk out. I don't know. But after they did their transition and, handing over all the paperwork, Biden already had in place because he had previously worked with Obama and a coronavirus task force that Trump had dismissed. So Biden was like, let me put that back in place and kind of get things going from there. So I saw how he is trying to get more vaccines out to people who want the vaccine, more vaccines out to the frontline workers, just as quickly as possible, efficiently as possible. And he knows that he can't force people to wear a mask, but just kind of keeping the mask mandate in place for as long as he can, encouraging social distancing. And another big thing we saw was getting Dr. Fauci back on the coronavirus team because it was funny. What was that interview we saw where the one reporter was asking Fauci about when you were standing behind Trump and you had to kind of like listen to some of those things? He's like, kind of like, how did you feel? And, that must have felt crazy. And he said, yeah, we were joking about that. And Dr. Fauci was like, he's like, I wasn't joking. I was serious. He's like that. He was like, he was scared. He's I was nervous. He was like, some of the stuff he was saying was just not backed by science. He could
tell his face. His
face was like, don't tell people that you can't drink bleach. What do you mean?
That's how I got on my news. Looking at stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So we're happy to see he's back on the task force and the team, and he, like he said, he goes by science. He is an actual scientific and medical doctor. Research, that's what it's backed by. So yeah,
he's been around a minute.
Yeah,
I remember watching something, and it was like way back in the day. They were showing Fauci and like everything he's been around for. He's the real deal. He's not. He knows his stuff.
Yeah,
tell he a lot happier too. Like,
Yeah, he seems lighter. Like, okay, now I can breathe because I know I have a
Excited.
president who's going to listen to me and who's actually going to go with the recommendations backed by science.
Okay, maybe it's just me, but can y'all breathe better? I know I can breathe better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, it's not so like, oh my God, what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah. And you know, a lot of people say, we're not saying that Biden is perfect. We're not saying that he's, you know, like some god. But what we are saying is that
he better than the one that was in there. I guarantee you that.
You definitely can feel like it's emotional, physically, you feel like just a weight has been lifted in Biden, all the changes that he wants to make and just coming in. Now, whether or not all those changes will happen in this first 4 years, and you know, we don't know about the future, but he's trying and he's actually making it known his plans and what he wants to do. Whereas it seems like Trump, like his whole presidency was just either about like scandal or inciting riots, and everybody was just so heated. Like,
I forgot some of the stuff. Like, just I was talking the other day with my stepdad, and just all the things Trump should have been out of office for. And like thinking about the, you know, the allegations, sexual harassment allegations, the impeachment, him being impeached prior, and then he with the debates, how he was. And then just he got COVID at one point. Now that point in time, I need to know more information about it. because that was a strange time. Remember, he got COVID and he was laying low and he went out public to do like a couple photo ops. Like, he was like, I'm doing fine. You know, they told me to like lay low. I'm like, was that a political stunt to like get some points? Because that was right after that first debate.
A lot of people said it was. They're like, he didn't have COVID. I mean, whether or not he
just went away.
I didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, right.
I didn't think this was really fun.
I had no COVID. Get out of here.
I'm like, why is this? It was so strange. And then it just went away. And then he just back outside.
Like, he came and went real quick.
Yeah, like, what was that about?
And then that crazy photo op, though. The one day he came and he
awkwardly
he took his mask off. He was
holding the Bible awkwardly.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you don't even know how to hold the Bible. He was like,
hey, what's this thing? Look at this. What's this thing?
But
awkward.
I think one of the things too, Allie and Babe, me and my wife used to watch all these videos of, I'm not gonna put their names out, but all these so-called evangelicals,
prophets, and
you know, some of the big time name prophets, or you call it, they was all for Trump. And I thought that was odd, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That they would say, well, God told me that Trump was going to win. Mm-hmm. And and I was like, what? I was like, I think God got more important things to do. I mean, look, that's me. I'm a pastor and everything, but not once. I mean, was I like, well, I think God want Biden in, or I think God want Trump in.
Absolutely.
My whole thing is I voted for who I felt would be best. You know what I mean? I think it's very damaging, and I'm talking as a pastor, it's very damaging to get into politics to that degree, because you don't know, politics is so different from, you know, the structure of church. It's so different. You can't be like, well, God told me that Trump was going to win.
Baby, it's crazy. I hate when people do it, because it's like, wait, like, why are you trying to like switch this around? Like, it messes up religion. Like, it messes it completely up every time you mix the two. Because then, you know, religion and racism and politics is in it. It's like, it's jumbo. It's like, it's gumbo. Excuse my name, it's gumbo. But it's like, it's too many things that shouldn't be in there. Like, God didn't tell you, like, stop speaking for God.
That's what I said. Stop
saying
that God told you that. He didn't tell you nothing. He just been quiet and chilling. You making up stuff.
Like, don't do that. Like, that's your personal belief. Like, stop trying to put it on other people. Like, don't do that. Yeah, that's crazy.
And out of all people, the church should have been appalled at the stuff that he was doing.
You would think.
You know, that's why I was like, I couldn't understand how they was like,
how you could still support that, saying God told you that. Yeah,
it's crazy. I wonder that, because it's a lot of like religious people that support Republicans. It's like because of that one thing. It'd be like one thing they can't get off of. And that's why they got to stay the course, stay with the Republican Party. But I'm like, it's who's right and who's wrong. Like, okay, like,
yeah,
clearly something's wrong with this man. It's not working out. You see that it's going downhill. Like, make a decision, like, do the right thing. But a lot of people don't, apparently. But, you know,
my thing is, if you say that you're going to pray, I'm going to pray about a situation, right? Now, you people making these memes joking about Biden and oh, look at this. After a while, they showed a picture of a toilet with like the dude had wet all on it, and they was like, oh, ladies, this is what's you're going to see in your bathrooms now because of transgender and Biden and different things of that nature. And I told my wife it's weird to me because that's why a lot of church people was supporting Trump, because not all, but the ones that was their reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
It either had something to do with abortion or it had something to do with gay rights. So, you know, like I tell my wife all the time, a person will be able to live the way that they want to live. My job as a pastor is to pray that whatever God's will for that person's life, that it comes out, not to beat them upside the head with the Bible and tell them, you get what I'm saying?
Right, and this is wrong. Yeah,
exactly.
Because we're not the judge, you know.
Right, so. Which is ultimately what it's supposed to be. Like, only God can judge. Like, it's not supposed to be us manipulating the Bible and manipulating the word into fit something we feel.
Yeah, they
like
take bits and pieces to fit their agenda and then splice it together. Like, see, this says this, and you're like, well, how come that only applies when it benefits you?
Yeah,
you know?
But it's just it's crazy, and that's when I check out. I'm like, I'm checking out, like, because I've had bad experiences with it, like a lot of bad ones, and I try to keep that. I try to keep that at bay. But no, it can get bad. It can turn somebody completely off from religion if you just
go
ahead. But yeah, no, it was definitely a lot. The abortion thing, that was a big one, especially in activism. The abortion thing is where people draw the line. Do not get into.
You said they go nuts, huh?
Yeah, like I can't, like, no, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because the argument is what's the one Christian rapper that's people always is controversial? Lecrae.
Oh, Lecrae.
I follow him on Instagram, and you know, people are like, you need to take a stand. I need to know, are you pro-life or pro-choice? And he said, so if me being pro-choice, does that make me not a Christian? Does that make me not believe in God? He's like, I believe that a woman's body, she should be able to do what she wants with her body and what she thinks is right. He's like, who am I to say?
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that I don't believe in all life and, you know, all things living. He's like, but I can't tell that woman what to do with her body. He's like, so the same thing we say, he just prays that whatever God's will for that woman is, help her make the best decision that she thinks at the time. And then, you know, whatever goes from there. He's like, I don't have a say in if that's right.
Yeah. And they don't, that's rough. They like with, singers and songwriters and rappers, they want you to take a stance. They really want you to be A or B. No, that's hard.
Yeah, and he's like, I refuse. And he's like, I'm not going to let y'all bully me into, you know, trying to say something that I don't believe in. That doesn't mean that I don't love God and I'm not a Christian. He's like, that's
like I had a guy tell me, he say, hey man, before you get to talk to me, he say, I'm a little bit, you know, crazy or whatever. And he said, and you know, gay or whatever. And I said, at the time I said, oh, don't worry about it. I say, I'm an alcoholic, so we're about on the same. He looked at me. He looked at me like, what? But I was trying to make him feel better, for him to understand that everybody fights. Yeah. Right. Everybody has to fight something. Yeah. And I just don't believe in beating a person down while they're trying to fight, or while they're just trying to live their life. Maybe they're not trying to fight. They happy at what, you know, you get what I'm saying?
Let people be.
Just let people be and just pray. because that's your job, is to pray, not to interfere to a point that you turn them away completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I feel like Biden as president, it's hard to not put your own personal beliefs in your job, but it sounds like what he's trying to do is remain neutral and kind of lift some of those things where Trump had it so divided and had the temperature so hot in America. So Biden is like, let's bring this temperature down. Let's kind of some of these things. And of course, he's an older white man. I'm sure he has his beliefs and probably like just kind of things that are ingrained in him. But he, especially having Kamala Harris as vice president, he's kind of like adapting and progressive beliefs and sees like the uprising of young people. So he's like, I got to get my old self on track. I got to that's who voted for him, the young Black people. So he made a commitment to fight for us, and it looks like that's what he's doing. So whatever he believes, whatever's in his head, he's kind of like pushing that aside. Like, let me make sure these issues are pushed to the forefront, and I'll make sure that I let them know that I hear them and I see them. So he's trying to do something about it. And like I said, whether or not all that can get passed, he can't do it on his own, but at least he's making it known, these are my plans, and this is what I hope to do.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. No, that's good. Kamala Harris, she balances him out. Yeah. Just like Biden he been around some time. That's nicely put. He's been around a while. But no, she brings the young people. She brings the ideas. He need her. For sure need her.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, no, it looks amazing. And then all the people that is running all these other departments, you can tell she brought them like with her. She was like, yeah, come on.
It's kind of one of them positions like, if my people can't come, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he ain't saying yeah. That was a reference. That was from Kamala. Like, we can tell. But no, it's good though. They doing good. I do I don't know, Biden he's trying to be nice, like you said, because he don't want it to be so divided. But I hope he knows when to not be. Yeah. Because the Republicans will try him because they're mad.
For sure.
Trump is gone. So, I mean, know when to, go all the way there.
Put that foot down. Yeah.
Just know, don't toe the line too much. Because Ted Cruz is trying to get people. He's trying to get people.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, I said Ted Cruz is trying to get people.
Man. Ted Cruz. Yeah. That dude there. I think personally that even with what they call the insurrection, right?
Oh man.
It's crazy that some of them people are considered as patriots, right? And if you think about it, throughout the history, why was these people that mad? It wasn't that Trump lost. It wasn't just that Trump lost or they feel as though, they stole the election. It was the fact that the people of color voted, and the places that they can't showed out, they showed up and showed out. So my thing is, you the one that was telling your people to come out, don't mail in anything, don't, you know what I mean? So now you upset. I just personally think that, hey, I'm down with Biden. I've always been down with Biden. I think Trump is, what's the best word to put? A lot of words for him, but a bully. That's the best way you can put it. He only care about himself and his own agenda.
Yeah.
What'd you want to say? Oh, I thought you was going to something else.
Nope. No, yeah. The Capitol thing is that was such a mess. I'm thinking 2021 happened. 2020 happened. We had 2021. And then that happened. I'm like, man, is this
I'm like, we not starting off the year very well, are we?
I mean, this is somebody said this is the deluxe of 2020. I was like,
oh no.
Oh man, it better not.
And I was talking to a couple people at work. A lot of work people, I know they say you shouldn't talk about politics at work. So it's only just a select few people that I know I can talk to about certain things. But we were talking about, the whole insurrection thing and them storming the Capitol. And I said, it's funny because some of those people are so like deeply rooted in the racism that was passed on to them. They don't even know why they're upset. So CNN, you know, they had their reporters all around and they're like shoving the microphone in people's faces. Like, why are you here? What are you hoping to do? So there's an older white guy and the reporter said, he's like, so what are you guys doing here? What are you hoping to do today? And he said, take that place. And the reporter said, okay, and then what? And so he put the guy next to him and there was another white guy. He just went, and he said, heads on pikes. It's like, what does that even mean? You don't even know why you're mad. Heads on pikes? Whose head? Why? What do you? The girl I was talking to at work, she's cracking up. She's like, heads on pikes? Whose head? What do you mean? Like, he didn't even know why he was mad because I was cracking up when the reporter was like, okay, and then what? He looked at the guy like, don't look at me. I don't know why we're here either. They just said, get on the bus and let's go.
Oh my God.
They're mad. So if you look at it, like I said, deep down, it's their great, it's passed down for them to be racist against people of color, namely Black people for the most part, to have any type of advancement. I don't know why it infuriates them to see us in these positions of power and doing things. You're still white. You're fine. You don't have to worry on the day-to-day with the things that we worry about. Your whiteness is not compromised. Your freedom in America is not compromised. So why are you really mad? Yeah. And if you stop and ask them that, they don't even know. They have no idea. They can't even explain it. They're just like, it's just something that's like ingrained in them. And you have to, once you get old enough, you have to break away from that and want to change. Yeah. That's why young people now, you see younger white people, they're not like their grandparents. They're not like
that's so interesting.
To not be racist and to educate myself as to why that's wrong.
Yeah. That's the interesting seeing like younger white people, and because my mother says they're good karma and bad karma. So with generational trauma, say for us, and things just from our ancestors, that ways that we are because of them, things that make us strong or make us weak at times, like it's from things passed down. Then you look at white people and you look at the bad karma they have gotten because of what happened with their ancestors. So they have to dismantle that. And then having friends and seeing them do that is an interesting thing, because it's like, one thing is it's really sad to see, because it's like you have family members that are just super racist and you having to correct them, you fall out with them. And it's like, but then it's like, I've heard some people say, like, I wish I wasn't, like, I sometimes wish I wasn't white. Like, it's like, it's just a major problem. It caused so many issues for so many people. It can be difficult. Like, I've watched that in the movement, and I commend activists doing that, because you got to. Like, it's the only way to move forward is to, like, correct people and, like, break these cycles. Like, it's the only way. So, yeah, even mixed people, I've seen mixed friends go through it on Facebook, like in comments, it gets ugly. And I know it's got to be hard because, it's just a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah, for Kamala Harris, so what was the other article I was looking at on CNN talking about the inauguration of the first female, first Black, and first South Asian vice president.
Broke a lot of barriers right there.
Yeah, so with that, talking about race issues and that heat there were so many people like questioning even her ethnicity. Yeah. Like, first, some people said she's not Black enough. Some people said she's too Black. I'm like, she just can't win. Like, what? She has color. How about this? She's not white. How about that?
She's a color. She's a woman of color. How about
Person of color, woman of color. Although I will say she's Black all day, I will make sure that's mentioned. I will always be like, oh yeah. She's all the other things too, though. But
and she recognizes both sides of her family, her Jamaican dad and her Indian mom. She never denied either one. But we all know how that goes. You got one parent that's Black, you're Black.
Hey, all I need to know is that she went to an HBCU.
There you go.
That is all I need. Yeah. The vice president is someone who graduated from a historically Black college.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I'm good.
Seeing her and Obama that walking together when they was that is a powerful scene.
Yeah, that nod. He gave her that nod. I was like,
Yeah.
Michelle, like after they were doing like their speech and everything, and they kind of like pointed at each other.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So even though Michelle doesn't really, or at least people have asked, she doesn't really want to be like in a political seat or anything like that. You know that they talk and they probably, have their help. Of course, I'm sure the Obamas are willing to be able to speak with them about whatever. So you have good counsel, you got good people in your ear, you got good ideas rolling. So that's why I say I just feel better about this administration. I'm not saying by any means that Biden is perfect or that he's going to fix everything, but at least the intentions are there, and the plan is to move forward from what we had with Trump and to try to make huge changes. Now, like I said, I don't know how much of that he'll be able to do, but at least he's trying. He's taking a stand and saying that racism is wrong. He's standing against that. He is talking about coronavirus and how we need to get on top of that. So these are things that he's speaking about and wanting to do.
That was the thing with me. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it was the fact how he did not acknowledge. You know what I mean? It was almost like race didn't matter with Trump. It was he made it. I understand that that's his base. So he didn't want to alienate his base, and he just wanted to keep feeding his base. But I just couldn't understand how his base believed it. You know what I mean? Like how? Like this dude lies constantly. They catch him constantly lying. And didn't make it so bad. He said it when he was running for he wasn't running. They was asking him when he was young, was he run for president? And he was like, "Oh no, I probably wouldn't run. But if I was to run," he was Democrat at the time. He said, "I would run as a Republican because their voters." Their voters are so.
Not necessarily the word dumb, but something in the sense that they're not very smart or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he said
like when he was younger.
Oh, that's what he said. He said, you can tell them anything and they'll believe it. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what he said. Gullible. And he did it. And he did it.
That didn't age well, did it?
No. But like you said, the crazy thing is these people still voted for him though. Yeah. So he wasn't lying.
Not just people. It was 7 million? How many people voted for him?
Yeah, it was more people that vote. Well, last time too. I mean, but this time more people in general voted than it has in like many years.
Yeah.
Biden got more of the votes, but more people for both. It was just more.
Yeah,
in the last 8 years. More than Obama's votes is what they're saying, which is hard to believe, but that's what they're saying. But
do this help you as far as being a civil rights activist? As far as does this help as far as Biden being in office? Do it calm the temperature to a point that you I guess in that field is not. I wouldn't say better. Be able to maneuver, but having that,
things are a bit calmer because Trump supporters, they feel like they can do anything and they will do anything. And me, with a lot of my focus being in these suburban areas, there's a lot of them, and they are dangerous. So in that sense, yes. It does help because there's not so much Trump sign, Trump this, Trump that coming to you at a protest. I've been seeing some crazy things with Trump supporters. They're violent. It's not like a George Bush supporter. This is a different breed. Trump changed the game of Republican Party, and they're very violent. So in terms of activism, it does feel a little more safe. Not as you're not as worried. But there's still that feeling of they mad, person lost, so they gonna try to come back. Just give it some time. So there's still that feeling, but after the Capitol stuff and all that slowed down, and it doesn't feel like it's as much right now. Yeah.
And then they talking about 2024. He might run again.
Who, Trump?
Well, they need to impeach him so he can't even do it.
That's what I was hoping. I know they had delayed it like a couple weeks, but hopefully that's what comes of it. Since he's already out of office, what should come of it? He should not be allowed to run for any other political office.
I think he loses security and stuff too. Like he loses
all your clearances and all that. Yep.
Oh man, he gonna have to skip town.
The people at Mar-a-Lago.
Marcel, what the place he always going vacationing?
Yeah, the place he temporarily went. Mm-hmm. They ain't even going there. Mm-mm. I was like, man, that's bad when you have that much hatred towards you, but at the same time can care less. Like Trump don't care. And I've always said that about him. He don't care. So you can't hold him and go, hey, you don't see how these people hurting? You don't see that these people need help? No, you don't see it. You know what I mean? Not saying, he's an idiot or anything, but he chooses to see the things that he chooses to see. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people try to say he an idiot. Some people have said like, oh, he don't know. He don't. No, he know. He had every opportunity to say, I condemn those and all those people at the Capitol. He didn't. He had like 3 different times he spoke about it publicly. None of those times he did. Yeah. So like
that's recently, after they stormed the Capitol. So what was it like? Was it the next day or maybe the day after where you could tell that was probably one of the first and only times that he listened to his advisors and was reading off of a teleprompter a statement that he had to say instead of just going off of that. I think at that point, then they banned his Twitter and his Instagram, so he couldn't just tweet or post. Yeah. So he made a formal televised statement.
He couldn't act no fool on there.
And they wrote it out and was like, you need to read the words on this teleprompter because you look real crazy right now.
No,
I do not condone violence. This is not right. And he's just reading it like, he wouldn't have said that on his own.
That time they was like, you got to do something like, kind of forced his hand. I think, I wish I was a fly on the wall when they took his technology, his phone, his Twitter, like when that moment of no, you can't have it happened. Yeah. Like I would love to see how he reacted.
He probably threw a temper tantrum.
Oh my God! Like just he was.
They said he was livid.
Yeah.
They say he was livid when they took that Twitter away. He was mad.
Then he went on the POTUS Twitter and tried to like keep it going. He like got banned from his original one, then hopped on the POTUS one. Oh, so I was saying, what do you mean? So you were saying
what? I didn't know that.
So I was saying blah blah blah, and like, wait, more is to come. Just wait and see. Like, okay, what does that mean? Like, oh my God, he
out there. Some people is danger to themselves. Some people is danger to others. He's a danger to just be right. You just everybody you touch is just poison. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy.
Because he gave them a voice. Them like people, QAnon, the Proud Boys, like every hate group, he gave a voice, and like they had protests planned for weeks. And imagine if he would have kept going, they would have kept going with it. That you don't know where that would have led. They was trying to get something started, for sure.
Yeah, because I was telling you when they were interviewing a couple of the guys like this, so when they started arresting people, and he. Remember they had his lawyer on CNN trying to defend him. Like, he's an older guy. He's like in his 50s. He's retired. He was just kind of following you a grown man. You a follower?
He hit the guy in the head. Did you see that? He hit the guy in the head with
he threw a
fire extinguisher.
Yeah, he threw an empty police, and his lawyer was actually trying to say it was empty. It wasn't that heavy. No one got hurt.
It was empty.
He didn't know.
Many, please. Like, I'm gonna need them to stop.
Yeah, he didn't know it was empty. You picked that up with the intention of causing harm to those police officers, and that's what Chris Cuomo was like. He's telling the lawyer, he's like, "Come on."
Cuomo is so funny.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Oh my God. Yeah, Cuomo had a year. There's a few governors and a few of them that handle COVID well.
Yeah. You talking about his brother?
Oh yeah, Andrew,
yeah. But no, I love both of them. They both.
We do, especially when they get together.
They're funny.
Oh my God, yes.
They be
Yeah.
I
joking
like how
around.
they tease each other. Yeah.
And Don Lemon always be like,
So serious.
be like, hey guys, it's not, that's, you joke so much. And he'd be like, yeah, I do.
You gotta laugh or you're gonna be crying, because Chris Cuomo, when he got COVID, we was like, I mean, I felt hurt because we love Chris Cuomo.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I saw Chris Cuomo. We used to watch him when he was coming up, and we used
Before
to,
he had his own show, yeah.
and we used to be like, oh, he gonna make it. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, he just started,
Got his own show,
and everything now.
Yeah, he be going off. Yeah. Yeah, I like him.
And then the other one be going off too.
The governor.
Not Cooper. It was not Anderson Cooper is another one that he be going off too. I just can't think of his name. Jake Tapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Jake Tapper had this look on his face, like when you say something stupid, he just be like,
yeah,
like
really?
Yeah, just one look. It's like people that do that, like just got poker face for days. They just chilling. Can't get through to them.
And hey, for everybody to know too, that because everybody already know about the other co-host, and this is another host here, y'all. But she's our civil rights. She be out there working.
Yeah, so that's I wanted to read this little thing, another from the CNN article for Kamala Harris, like we were talking about her being the first Black woman. This so they were interviewing a lot of teenagers and people that voted and some kids that couldn't vote yet. What did it mean to them to see Kamala Harris in this position? So this one young lady said, it just feels like Black girls like me can run for class president. Black girls like me can go for the big things in life like she did. So that was like, to me, it was something big, you know, like if they don't get to do all the big things that they want to do, just the mere mention of stuff like that, just to give our people hope, like, okay, if she can do this, there's a chance for me to do something like that. Same thing when Obama was the first Black president. Not saying that he was perfect or that he got everything done that he wanted to do, but it's just that little bit of hope, like, okay, we can finally kind of get our foot in there. We're trying to like break barriers down and make our mark and, you know, just get in there. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Because like politics, I didn't care really about politics until Obama got in office. Mm-hmm. And like in my mind, he was going to be there forever. Right. So it was like, what's going on? It was, and then like, you think about like, wait, I was taught in school they can only have 2 terms. I'm like, who made that stupid rule? That's dumb. They should just be president as many times as we keep voting for them. Lost. I'm like, oh man. But like he's the like only like the reason like I'm so interested in politics and not just thinking of activism and like with politics. No, like him winning that in that period of time. Oh man. So emotional. And I was still like graduating high school. So I wasn't even like because what was that when he got elected? That was 2008. 2008. Yeah. Around up in there. Yeah. I graduated in 2010. So like I wasn't able to vote, but I was doing like voter outreach. I was like calling door to door type of thing, canvassing. But just like everybody knew about it. Everybody in school, everybody outside, like everybody knew Obama was running. Like even if you couldn't vote, and the parties, and just like he got elected, and the joy I seen in so many Black people. Like I remember my mom waking me up in the middle of the night and hugging me when he won, and tears. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'll never forget that. But he did so much. Just that was a great time. That moment. Oh, that moment was. I mean, I went to work I stayed up all night, of course, watching the results. But when he won, I was shocked. You know what I mean? Like I was shocked at the same time. Right. I got scared because I'm like, man, I hope they protecting. You know what I mean? Everybody was saying like it was like a lot of different emotions. Mm-hmm. But going to work the next day, that's when I used to walk to work. I bought the newspaper, of course, because back then people used to buy the front page and save it. Yeah. Right. Although I wish I still had it. I don't even have it. Yeah. But that's why I bought it. I bought 2 of them so I can have it as, hey, this is when Obama won. Man, I was walking on the street like this.
I had the biggest grin on my face, and I know people was like, "What is wrong with him?" And I was just so happy that man, a black man. You know what I mean? I got representation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's amazing.
And then Michelle, and then the family. It was just like this perfect. Like I was like, oh my god. When I watch anything in like, because I watch a lot of shows that go over like the decades of time and like all the changes, and the history. Anytime it gets to that moment, it's just like I just love seeing it all over again.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal for us. Like I said, just the face, Kamala Harris, and I know that's a lot of pressure for her, but she's not new to the political scene. She was, what were we reading? What she was doing before she was even chosen as his vice president. Right. She was in California, like what was she like?
She was she was like the attorney general for California.
Yeah, attorney general. So she already had like a big role. So she's like, I'm not new to this. I know what I'm doing. So she's just stepping up her game. She's like, I'm gonna bring that same attitude and that same tenacity to this role. Yeah. And I just think that is so good because, like we were saying, it's gonna, to me, it's gonna kind of keep Biden kind of young. Because, you know, like I said, he's an older white guy, and I'm sure he has his beliefs, but I feel like she's right there like, hey, Joe, let's look at this. Let's put this on the table. And he's like, okay, yeah. He actually listening to her.
Like, he's relying on her for certain things. Like he know, like, okay, maybe I should, like, refer to her.
Yeah, maybe I should fall back and let Kamala handle this one.
They feed off each other. That's what's good.
Yeah.
You know, they feed off each other.
They do. I like how Kamala, like, I don't know how she carried herself, just how she... Even when with Trump, when those recordings came out of him trying to make the Georgia, was it Secretary of State or was it the senator?
Yeah, and I was like, does he not know that these are recorded? Why are you talking crazy like that?
And she was, when she spoke about it, she's like, did y'all hear those recordings?
That's what I was telling him. I said her blackness came out there and she got up to the podium. She said, y'all hear this? Y'all see this?
About
this recording?
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
She got real black. Y'all see that? And she just shaking her head.
That's a bold face lie. I was like, those I love.
She called him out on that one.
She's like, it's a bald face lie.
Yeah,
like, and that's why I love to see it. I think they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna try to do some big things. So Biden is already, trying to sign some things back into policy that Trump had dismissed.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of things, of course, he needs approval for, but some stuff he didn't need approval for. Like I was saying, he had withdrew the U.S. from the World Health Organization, which keeps us up on these viruses and everything. And so Biden, that was one of the first things he did, was like, okay, let me sign that. We need to be back in WHO because we need to know what's going on with the virus, the strain. And it's like, why would you withdraw us so we have no weapon against anything else that could come up? Because I mean, I'm not saying that COVID was like 100% preventable, like if it came from where it came from and people were traveling, but it wouldn't be as widespread as it was had he not left us in that. Because what did Obama say when when they were doing the speeches, like on the way to Biden being elected? He said, we left them the playbook for if this would have happened. And he said, I don't know what they did with the book. I don't know if they're using it as a placeholder or a coaster. He said, but we left it there. And
they had a pandemic response.
Plan. And we didn't know if it was going to be COVID or something else, but Obama has set in place. If a huge pandemic breaks out or an epidemic again, like these are the steps we have in place to try to control that. So it definitely wouldn't have been as bad as it is.
But he didn't want nothing to happen. He didn't want nothing that Obama did.
Yeah, he didn't want Obamacare. He wanted to do Trump care. He just anything Obama did. He wanted to dismiss it.
That was bad though. Like it's a good idea though. Like I know you don't like it. Acknowledge that is a good idea. He
can do it. He couldn't even acknowledge that is. And that's what Obama was saying. Like, I don't care if you want to take my name off of it, at least use the plan. You can call it the Trump pandemic plan, but use the plan.
Violator on all levels.
Oh man. Call it the Trump plan or something.
Oh yeah. Because I know I saw the travel ban. I know, Biden had lifted that so
he lifted that. What were some of the other things they said? So in his first 100 days, it was like he said he was going to be busy because and then student loan debt.
Hosted the payments and stuff like that.
Yeah, so pushed it back because I have student loans and I kept checking my email. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to get ready to start back paying these student loans because I had a nice little break. Then I got an email saying that it was extended for like a month. And I'm like, okay, so I got one more month. Then I got an email saying it's extended until October of this year. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because I mean, I know some people who have student loans, like that's a huge chunk of a payment. And of course you can still pay on it if you know, just to keep your payments regular. But if you needed to take a break, it's not going to count against you and you can pay some other stuff. Because during the pandemic, some people either lost their job or were underemployed or got a pay cut. So whatever financial stress you were going through, student loan is like, Biden is like, we don't want that to be one more thing that Americans are worrying about.
Yeah.
So having that extension could make all the difference for someone, you know. So
they got to look at their student loans. That's a problem in itself. I really hope they look at that soon. Like,
because they tell you to stay in school, get your education, and you'll be more marketable. You get this degree, but you're like, how to pay for it though? Yeah,
you in debt like a lot after. So like,
there are people who are doctors and nurses and lawyers, but they have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loan debt. So this great salary that they make, they're paying student loans.
Yeah, they're gonna have to figure that out. When it was like everybody was running for office, so Kamala was running against Biden. When the Democrats, when we still didn't have a candidate yet, when they was talking about the student loan stuff and making a plan, I was getting excited. I was like, all right, we're gonna do this because we need to.
Yeah.
The white people, like, please. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait till they start talking about that more.
So what do you look for? What do y'all look forward to seeing? I'll start with you, Allie. Getting close to us to ending, but what do you see happening, and what do you want to see? I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And
from this administration, from Biden.
Okay. I have a couple things. One, I want to see qualified immunity ended. So if he could wipe all that away, so we can hold people accountable when they do things wrong, that would be amazing. Also, some form of reparations, and not a plan, not a program. Reparations for Black people specifically. Something to set us up generations to come. Something education-wise to set us up financially and education-wise for generations to come. But that's what I want to see.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, those things, because I know reparations, that's always been like a touchy thing. I mean, I wouldn't even know where they would be able to start with that. There's so many people that would argue about the amount or just like how indigenous people have to argue the amount of Native American they are to like for the reservations so that would be the same thing with Black people. Well, how Black are you? You have to be at least 76% Black to qualify. So then we got to go on ancestry.com and try to figure out how Black we are. So I already know that'll be a whole thing, but that's definitely something.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Yeah, but I definitely want to see more diversity in the White House. So Congress, Senate, and I think with Kamala Harris being in there, like you said, she brought some of her team with her. Some of these positions of power need to be held by people of color, namely Black people, so that we can have better policies in place for us, because it takes someone like us, it takes a Black person to be able to see the wrongdoings in there and help turn that around. And with Biden, I feel like, like I said, he listens. And like I said, I'm sure, of course, he has his own beliefs, but it just feels like he listens and he wants to be open to that, pushing his own agenda aside and like, let's help Black people get the recognition that they need. And like Ali said, setting us up for a better future, because white people already have that generational wealth. They have those things set in place. And a lot of us don't even have things to give to our children to be able to set them up like that. Yeah. So things like that in future. And then for women, with Kamala Harris being vice president, that's going to open up so many doors. Like they need to get more programs, especially for women of color, but just women in general, to show that we can do these things too.
Yeah.
So I think her being that face, that's like we were saying, that kind of gave him that hope, just like that girl was saying. It makes me feel like I can do just about anything if she's in that position.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm excited to see. More women holding these positions, and then more people of color, namely Black people, getting in these positions to be able to change some of these policies to make things a little bit better for us. And why white people get upset, because it's still, if you look at the country and the percentage, it's still It used to be like 75, 76%. It's still almost 70% white. So it's still not even. We're still not on an even playing field. So I just want to see
2030, that's supposed to flip. And it's so they getting that's what it is.
They get a little antsy. We started dilute. It's too many mixed kids running around.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
Me personally, I don't want to see the whole mixed black. I just think representation. I want to see more black people, of course, and places of power. Yeah. But I also want to see, of course, my people first. But I also would like to see Mexicans and just Asians or
like we can even say minorities. If people
minorities, period. It can be
color.
It can be Eskimo.
Yeah, if people of color makes you uncomfortable, minority. So we're talking about underrepresented people,
right?
If that's a little more correct for you, underrepresented people have a fighting chance to make a difference. That's what
I want to see. That's what I want to see. Just a more diverse panel of people, and I think. Because you want the representation to look like what is represented.
Yeah, reflect
what I mean?
People that's doing most of this stuff. Like it can't keep having these presidents, and irks me. Every president looks the same. Every president is white. It's just, and here Obama is this one, and Kamala Harris is this one. It's like that has to stop. Yeah, so it just the age, like you have to be a certain age. There's a lot of issues I have with that.
Yeah, I always wonder that too. Why do you have to be 35? So you're already getting older to have to be president. And I get that with age comes wisdom, but like if they bring it down just a little bit, can they be like 30? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Like we had all these old white men in presidency, and they already like have these staunch beliefs in it, and then you're looking at like, okay, he gonna serve 2 terms, but is he gonna make it 2 terms? He's kind of old. I mean, I don't know.
Biden is the oldest president.
Yes, yeah. He is already old, so it's like we need.
There's a lot of firsts this time.
There's a lot of firsts. We need some fresh.
First everything.
Right?
Young, energetic, vibrant people in these offices that can make a difference.
But he's sensible, But that's what I want to see. And I also want to say this because we said this at the beginning of the show, but I want to see, I don't know what you want to call it. If you want to call it church, religion, spirituality, however you want to label it. And I can just speak for me. I think we have to get to a point, the church have to get to a point is to step back and allow God to be God, right? And I think if we allow God to do what he designed us to help him with, because we're not doing it. We're helping, we're assisting. And I think a lot of times people get that confused. And so they do all the judging. They do all the, we don't want you to come here because you look a certain way, or you with a certain person, or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You throw away a lot of genuine good people. You know what I mean? You just throw them away just by looking at them and saying they don't fit what I think a church person should look like. Me and my wife would tell you, I struggled for a while because I was like, man, because everybody know I produce music. So it's like, and so I'm like, man, I don't know, because they're gonna think, like, oh, he a pastor, he produced music.
Yeah.
And I'm a hip hop fanatic, what I mean? So I like Lecrae, Trip Lee, and what I mean? I love hip hop. So I went from loving hip hop, from the Jay-Z's to the back. You might be too young for this one, but back in the day for Houdini and all them, and what I mean? But I just changed partners. That's it. I just, what I mean? I decided to live my life differently, live it for God. And so the music has changed. But I fought that for a long time because I was like, man, people going to look at me like, a pastor shouldn't be doing that. And blah, 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 blah. But she helped me a lot. My wife helped me a lot and helping me like, don't worry about that. Just do what, you know what I mean? Then if the Lord.
I always asked him, I kept saying, who is they? He's like, well, they. I'm like, who is they? Who are these they people you keep talking about? All you gotta worry about is doing what God told you to do. Who's they? Don't worry them. Who? So
yeah,
you do the right thing and you living how you're supposed to be living, and they will go to wherever they need to be.
It makes it so bad. I stopped for a while too. Not because of that, but I stopped for a while because I was getting Breathe together. I just busy.
Yeah, busy.
And just got back to it. And my wife told me, she was like, I knew it. She's like, I know he's gonna go back because that's what I love to do. It's like if you stop drawing for a while,
yeah,
if
you start painting for a while, let's say you got busy, it was like, oh, but I didn't leave that alone for a minute. Then you come back and you don't have anything to do, you're gonna be like, I gotta draw something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I gotta go.
And that's how I told her. We would sit down, I was just like, I gotta make some music. You know what I mean? Like, because that's my escape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once I start making music, she'll tell you I'm gone. I'm somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Everybody gotta have one. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Stepping back, I wish a lot of people would do that. I feel like it'd be a lot less problems if people just step back and let people be who they wanted to be. All welcome. Like, I don't care, if you date this person, dress like this, have this tattoo, like all that, like it divides us more, and it's already a lot trying to do that. So
yeah,
that's why I don't know. I'm just big on allowing God to be God. Mm-hmm. I mean, let him do his job and you do yours. You know what I mean? And
because they don't like pay my bills. Like other people don't pay my bills.
Exactly.
I make my own money, so why am I
like my wife always say? They wasn't in the gym shooting hoops.
Right, you wasn't in there practicing, getting it in. They don't know the struggle. Yeah, so I just hope that. Yeah, I hope that with this administration, especially Kamala Harris being in there, especially within the Black community, we can. I know it'll never be ended completely, but just colorism within our own community. We had talked about that before. I hope that this can just help us just be unified as a whole. Light skin, dark skin, whatever. Like we're Black. We're all Black. White people look at us and be like, okay, so he's a lighter Black man. There's a lighter Black, a darker Black man. We all Black.
Why you pointing at me when you said light skin?
I'm just saying.
On the panel, that's messed up.
I'm just saying. We come in all shades, and it shouldn't even matter. So it starts within our own community. We have to embrace us. And see, that's like she said, that's the division. That's where white people can get in and be like, they don't even like their own people. And they can just get in there and split us up. So we got to come together. And this should be seen as a symbol of that. Kamala Harris, like, it doesn't matter what her skin tone is. Like Black people, like, let's come together. We could do so much more. It's so powerful.
Yes.
If we stop being divided and can just come together and just agree on that one thing that, like, we should all agree on that we are hated by so many. That alone should bring us together. Like people hate Black people, so let's work together on this.
Even other people of color hate Black people.
Yes, right. Other people of color, yes. So.
And that me and my wife talk about that all the time, and we be watching stuff on the news, and my wife, we be looking at each other like they don't like us. Like, wait a minute! Like we all in this together.
I can tell you some stories. We don't have time, but let me tell you.
Hey, we got time for one. You gotta tell us what.
In activism, where are there's Black and white people I keep seeing? Where's all the other groups?
Yeah.
Like, where's all the other groups?
Yeah.
And then they be like how you don't think Black Lives Matter, but you're Arab. Like,
yeah.
Like, what? Like, I go to Dearborn and I don't get it. Like, how are you sitting up there and you can't even say Black Lives Matter? How are you a politician? You won't even say it, but like, it's free Palestine, it's what is it, Syria and all this justice stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you're colorist. Problem solved. I know now.
Paris said facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, how you going? Like, that irks my soul. It makes me more frustrated when that happens than when
I don't understand. I have prayed about it. I have tried to reconcile myself with it. The hatred for Black people in America. I haven't been anywhere else, so I don't know. But all I know is I was born and raised here in this country, and Black people the hatred for us.
Insane.
So that's why I said, just seeing people in these positions of power, it just makes you, it's like a warm, tingly, like just gives you hope. And like, you know, we don't know if things can change, and we don't know how much can be done, but it just makes you so hopeful and so grateful. Like, just, it's like we're finally starting to get into some positions where we can maybe make just a little bit of change. We can just try to start.
I just wanted Trump out. I think
I think that's a huge step. It helps because Biden recognizes that Black people came out, because in his one of his speeches, he said, you guys came out, you showed up, and I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna make sure I fight for you. He said, I recognize them votes. You know, he said, I know y'all voted for me.
So at least now we're on a path to equity. We can work towards equity better than we were with
That's
Trump.
why I feel like just on the right path to it. And like I said, I don't know how far we can get, but we can try.
Hey, ride until the wheels fall off. As they say.
That's all we can do is try.
Just keep going. Because I think, you know, it's one thing my father used to say is empty cans make the most noise. You know what I mean? If you full of substance, if you have something inside, you don't have to, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. You just do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to say you're a leader, you just lead, right? So it's like one of those things. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Paris.
Don't keep right.
We're gonna keep pushing Paris. And everybody keep her family up in prayer as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm just happy the climate, the heat, the temperature is lowered. Because I was getting to a point that I'm like, man, Lord,
are we gonna have to move to Africa?
And like you're gonna have to do something. I'm about to go to Ghana or somewhere because I ain't about to stay here.
What's that? No, that is so real. That is so real. Oh my God.
That said, it was an African country. He was like, they don't want y'all there. You can come here. And I told my wife, I was like,
yeah. No, it was, let me tell you, it was some moments of 2020 that cracked me up. The headlines was crazier than they've ever been, but it was certain headlines that did not seem real. I forget what African leader it was, but he made a care package for those with COVID. In his care package, there were bottles of Hennessy. Now, this is real.
Get drunk and croak over? Like, what kind of crap?
He got in trouble for it. His thing was, it'll relax you and it's to like calm you. He made it sound all like nice, but I'm like, no.
That's not a good idea.
You trying to appeal to Black people. This is how we treat you. Come on over here.
Come on over here, you get this hen dog.
I'm like, that's not that bad of a care package.
You're like, yeah, what'd you say? You said you would take one of the care packages.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no, I'll take it. Like, yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. But for the people that's watching, this is, of course, First Amendment. This is our first show back. Unfortunately, we couldn't have, again, we told you about Paris and Shatara. They couldn't be here at this point in time. On different shows, we have different guest hosts and co-hosts and different things of that nature. It's just to broaden the conversation. If Allie don't agree with something I say, she'll say, "Look here, Mr. Man," and she'll tell me. She'll tell me her gripe, and you know what I mean. But you need it for more diversity. You know, me and Allie talked about it. So, all I ask is that she don't cuss me out on my show. That's all.
Unless you just say something out off the wall, then but. Yeah.
Say anything, huh? Like, you said you wouldn't cuss me out on my show.
Like, no.
But yeah, and I also want to put this up too for people, and then I'm
close it out. So
this will be February 13th. Again, this is the young man that I kind of ran across just going through videos. Again, like I told you, I like hip hop, so I was just going through, and he got positive hip hop. He
does no profanity.
He wanted,
he wanted to be parent friendly and positive, and he's from Ypsilanti, so local. Okay, wow. His dad is his manager. You could tell he raised him right, very respectable young man. So people can go check him out. Kid J, he's open for TI, and I think he.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he's been around. He said he's open for TI. I think he met Big Sean. He's met some big names, so he definitely can go some places.
He getting some
good exposure.
He done been on Channel 4, I think. Channel 4, Channel 2, or something like that.
So yeah, people can definitely go look on YouTube and Facebook, and yeah, he's doing some things.
That's good.
And also, these next couple of shows will be incorporating Detroit a little bit more as well. Me and I talked about that as well, incorporating Detroit, the whole Michigan area, but focus, of course, Detroit, Ypsilanti, because that's where I'm from. Maybe Dirty Sag.
Oh, you got a little city in there. Okay.
Oh my God, that's a hell of a name. Now, Sag nasty.
Why it's gotta be dirty though?
Hey, I got my gripes with Detroit. Hopefully, you can get some people from like whether politicians or whatever from Detroit on here, because they're doing some things, and I'm watching them, and I'm not happy right now.
So you ain't happy, huh?
No, I'm not happy with their city council. No, no, they made it where you can countersue Black Lives Matter protesters.
No.
Yeah. So
we get some topics for the next shows already.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to y'all. I saw that last week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut this show off. And look, guys, thank you for coming and watching the show. Thank you, and welcome to Miss Allie Hughes as a co-host.
Yes.
I think she's going to work out great.
Yeah, we look forward to her ideas and topics. She already getting it going. We see the fire already. So
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, all right. Well, you had anything last words you want to say?
That is it. We're just gonna keep it rolling, like I said, with more topics like this and things to come. So I look forward to it.
All right, Sag.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right, y'all. You be blessed.
All right, you too. Bye.